So sitting on your mat, oh, and I also did get a new reformer. So I'm up on my mat. I'm on a reformer today. I'm very exciting. So we're going to start seated with your legs out in front of you, knees bent, and just try to sit up nice and tall with the hands here on the shins. And then we're going to go into a little bit of extension. So take your gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling let your throat open, and then start to let the head be a little heavier. And then see, can you press your chest forward and take the shoulders back with the head. And then gently start to nod back down, grabbing a little lower towards your ankles, pulling off. We're going to go into that flexion. So let the shoulders curl forward. Let your spine round away. One more into that extension. Get the spine moving in all three directions before we get going. And then right back down. We've got one more here. And then from there, we sit up nice and tall. Let's take your arms out to a T position. And then take that right arm down and bring that left arm up and over, bicep towards the ear. Shoulder's going to elevate, but just make sure it doesn't feel like it's totally disconnected. Back to T, up and over towards the left. And if you're on the left and I'm on the right, it's no big deal. One more from side to side. Just breathing here. And then go ahead, we sit up nice and tall. Come all the way down to your back. Knees bent and feet go flat. Head is heavy, nice and anchored. Let the shoulders follow from the ears and let the shoulder blades feel anchored down the back. I want a little bit of energy here with the arms. So you're going to feel your shoulders drop down as you press into the forearms. That's what we're going to look for, is that openness here. And then from there into your pelvic tilt. So you're going to think bowl of water here on the belly button. I want you to let that bowl of water spill towards the ribs and towards the chest and collarbone. Try not to squeeze with the booty here. Try to release that tension and then rock back down. Go to that big send the booty back behind you position, that big anterior tilt. You're going to notice the ribs open and flare. And there's a lot of space here between my back and the mat. And then back to that posterior tilt. Use an inhale. Exhale. Drop back to that girl out on the Saturday night position. Go back to that posterior tilt, that tucky lifted position with the very lowest part of the spine, and then back to that big arch lying down. And then just settle into your neutral, where it feels like your hip bones and your pubic bone are in a little triangle. We're going to go for 2 big breaths here. Inhale, bring the breath in all the way around the rib cage. Exhale. Get that breath out and feel the core connect more. One more, just like that. And then sigh it out. We're going to go into this little knee pressure, try to activate our core a little bit more. Bring your right leg up, right hand to the right thigh, so right there below the kneecap. You're going to take an inhale like you just did. Big deep breath in. Take that breath all the way around the ribs. And then exhale, press the thigh into the hand into the thigh. 2 more just like that. Can you keep everything still? So press even harder here. Again, feel like you're really going deep into the layers of the core. 1 more just like that. And we exhale. Get that breath out of the body. Keep that right leg up and then take the left hand to the inner part of the knee and the thigh. And then from there, you're going to do the same thing, but you're this time pressing in with the leg towards the hand. So your inhale comes in. Think about bringing the knee and the hand closer towards the midline of the body. 2 more just like that. Last one here. Activating this area on the side. Like you're pulling an hourglass shape closer in to where those tiny grains of sand come through the center. And then switch left leg to tabletop. We'll take it left hand to the thigh. We go for 3 rounds here. Inhale, pull that breath all the way around the ribs like you're puffing up balloons in the chest. Exhale. 2 more just like that. Maybe a little more pressure with the back of the thigh towards the hand. 1 more. Fill those balloons in the ribcage up all the way. And think about that small opening in the balloon. Right hand to the inner part of that left thigh, and we're going to do the inside from there. We go. Big breath in, side out, 2 more like that. Think about really expanding all the way around, not just the top, but the sides and back of the chest. And then with that exhale, imagine you're trying to blow out the candles on all your birthday cakes. 1 more. And we send that exhale out and out and out. And now we're ready to get going. With your knees bent and feet flat, we're going to go into that curl. So arms come up, keep those shoulders organized and away from the ears. You're going to go to your little head nod. So think your gaze is going towards your knees. And it's that I can feel the front of my neck turn on and the back of my neck stretch sensation. From there, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, you hold that curve like I gave you that marble, and you reach your hands and you take your gaze right between your thighs, like you're going to look towards your toes. And then we inhale right back down. We've got 4 more of those chest lifts. We come up just to the tips of the shoulder blades. So I'm not trying to go way up like this. I stop. And then to get more connected and you reach more, think connect here more. And we inhale back down. Go for 3. You want to keep this low part of the ribs heavy and anchored. Last one here. And we reach it up and up and up. Keep reaching, think fingertips towards the toes, and we go right back down. Take a quick break, and we're going to go right into our 100 beats. So we go to that chest lift and we hold there. So again, I give you an imaginary marble. You're pressing your marble from the bottom of your chin towards your collarbone. You hold your marble still. You reach, and then you start that control pump of the arms. No movement with the head or the neck. It's just coming from the shoulders. So we go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, forward, 10. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Then think connection here between the ribs and the hips. Back of the ribs heavy. Up to the shoulder blades. We're at inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 30. Let's take one leg to tabletop. And exhale, 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 exhale. 1 more round with just 1 leg up. And exhale, 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 exhale. Both legs to tabletop. If that doesn't feel great, put 1 back down. Go back to your start if you need to. We go in and out, out, out. Pull it in. Send it out. Option here to extend the legs to your working level where you don't lift the back. We go in and out and out and out. 1 more round. And out. All the way down. You can always lower your head during your 100, or like I just did, take 1 hand behind. From here, we straighten the legs all the way out. We are mat width. Heels are down, my toes are up. I'm really digging in. We're in for our roll up. So go ahead, really plant the heels. And I want you to externally rotate just a tad so that this area is turned on. And then from here, we take that inhale to prepare. We go into that curl. We keep going into that curl, 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 curl. And then we reach forward, think this curve through the spine. And then we inhale to sit back up tall, and then exhale. The heels are going to come along with you. You're kind of dragging and then come all the way back. You can reach the arms overhead. Just don't lose that connection from here. Inhale brings our arms up, and we curl back up and up and up and up and up. Reaching forward towards the toes. Keep that curve with the chin of the chest. Sit back up and then exhale. Oh, we roll it back down. Let's go for 1 more here. Reaching up towards the toesies, 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 toesies. Sit back up tall, and then we come all the way down. We're going to do a new exercise today. This is the roll over. So if you're like, yeah, that's not going to happen for me today, then just do what feels good to you. I'm going to have you give yourself a little kind of kickstand with your hands underneath your hips. And then from here, let's bring your legs to that tabletop position. Find a connected position with the legs like we've zipped, And I want you to just inhale, take the legs out, and then exhale, pull the legs in. So just warming up the hip flexors here just a little. And then pull back in. And we're gonna go for just one more. And then we're gonna bring the legs out to your working level. You're gonna inhale, and I want you to flex the feet, toes towards the knees. And from there, you're gonna use your exhale. We're going up and overhead. So we're gonna do really, truly roll over. So inhale, take that breath in. Exhale, use a little bit of momentum here. You're gonna think, can I take my toes almost like they are pointing straight down? You separate the legs here. Take an inhale to prepare. From there, let's anchor the arms down and then exhale. We lower down to your working level, find that connected position, keep flexing, take your inhale, prepare, exhale, we go up and over from there, separate slightly wider than the hips. Exhale is gonna take you back down, rolling on the spine. One more in this direction. And then go ahead and lower down and down and down and down. We keep the legs wide and we go into the reverse. So again, pin the shoulders, anchor the arms. Inhale to prepare, exhale, we go up and over from there. Slide the legs together. And then let's take a nice soft point through the toes and roll down. Down, think vertebrae by vertebrae, roll through the spine. And then open wide, find that flex. Exhale brings you up. Point and lower down, nice and slow. Use your breath to help control the movement. One more, a little wider, find that flex. And then from there, we're going into rolling like a ball. So we'll bring ourselves to a seated position. We've done this a couple times already. We're gonna do it again. Make sure you've got room behind you and in front of you. Gotta be a little more careful now that I'm on elevated space. Take the forearm, hook it behind the thigh, and then find your balance point and take the other one up, grabbing at your wrist. From there, let's think, we probably kind of sagged in our shoulders. Think, draw those shoulders down and back. I'm kidding, we're gonna go hands here. So you're pressing your shins in and then kind of pulling the forearms. You wanna keep the knees about shoulder width. You can connect the feet if that feels helpful. But again, nice proud chest. Your inhale is going to take you back, your exhale is bringing you up. So think pressing the shins in to the forearms. We go inhale back, exhale, right back up. We're going to go for 3 more. We're not getting to the neck or the head, just to the tips of the shoulder blades there. Woo, inhale back, exhale. Try to pause at that balance point, and then we're going to roll back. And from here, we're going to go into our stomach series. So we're gonna start in our lifted kind of back position. You go pull with one leg, the opposite leg's extended out, and then you switch. And we switch and switch. Go for 3, exhale and exhale, 2 more, last 1. Both knees come in, you come a little higher. And then from there, if you need to lower your head, when we extend, lower your head. Listen to the body that woke up with you this morning. You inhale, reach and stretch out, pull it back in. We go long and we come all the way together. Think, go, everything's away from the belly button and then everything's back in. We're here for 2. Last 1. And from here, we take a quick breather. Take breaks when you need to, grab water when you need to. We're gonna go into scissors, then double leg lower and lift. So let's go back to that curl. Straighten the legs up. Let's grab behind the top part of the calf here. And again, we want a little energy. We're gonna drop that opposite leg down and then we switch. The leg is as straight as you can get it. There's a nice soft point. And you go inhale, pull, drop, exhale, switch it to the other side. 1 more on both sides from here. And then we get some assistance. I want you to go Pilates V soft point. I want you to turn the back of the leg on. You inhale to go down, exhale, come up. If you go too low, you're going to feel the back ribs start to lift. So you want to omit and avoid that. Start that exhale before you bring yourself back up. Think of that as a way to preheat your oven. Last one here. Then we come up, up, up. And then we take a little breaky break. Whew. I'm already starting to get pretty warm. Again, didn't done this earlier. Got a good little workout then, just like I am now. Last thing in our stomach series is our crisscross. So let's bring the legs to a tabletop position. And then from there, we stay lifted through the center. And we go up and over towards the right, left leg extends. And then you switch. And then let's go in. Inhale, inhale, exhale, and exhale. We've got 3 more on both sides. Last one. And then from there, we reconnect the feet, reconnect. Again, you can drop the knees from side to side if that feels good. Feel free to grab a little sip of water like me. And then we get to sit up for a spine stretch. So Joseph Pilates really likes to get you to move around a lot. We're back to that slightly wider than hip width, mat width position, just like we were when we went into our roll up. But from here, I want you to really think that the movement is coming from your center, not from your shoulders. So we all want to do more. We think we should be able to get a little further. It's not always the case. We're going to bring the hands here on your mat, sitting up as tall as you can. And then from there, you're going to go to that chin nod. And I want you to keep your shoulder blades down the back as you exhale and slide the hands forward. Think, pull your belly button away from your shirt as your arms slide. You can let the shoulders come up a little bit, but not if you start to take the belly towards the thighs. So we're really stretching through the spine, anchoring through the hips. And then we inhale to restack back up. And then it's that exhale that's gonna pull my tummy and tuck my tailbone under and start to slide out. We're still flexing the feet. And then inhale, restack the spine back up nice and tall. Start that exhale to drop your chin down. Think that marble's still there. Falling out through the belly. Reach and reach and reach and reach and reach. And then inhale. Sit back up nice and tall. Perfect. Very good. We're going to go into our open leg rocker. We have been working on this. I'm going to have us do 3 with our knees bent. So this is where we are going to grab behind the thigh. So let's bring one leg up and make sure you've got space behind you and in front of you. You're going to feel that side of your pelvis go ahead and shift and tilt, and then bring that other leg up. Again, find that balance point. Holding here may be just enough for you today. But you can see I've got some engagement with my arms and my shoulders. I'm going to get a little bit more proud and open through the chest and think about really pressing the back of my thighs into my hands and vice versa. Think about that knee pressure we did earlier. A lot of energy from here. It's just soft point with the toes. It's going to be an inhale to take yourself back just to the tips of the shoulder blades, and exhale to bring yourself up. Inhale, go back. Exhale. And we go back. One more. So with the knees bent, that's going to give us a lot smaller, well, not a lot smaller range necessarily, but it's going to give you less weight that you've got to control as we go up and down. So we'll try for one more. But we're going to go straighten one leg a couple times here, just release through the hamstrings, and then switch, go for 3 on that second side. You're not on your sits bones, but you're not on your sacrum. And then let's reconnect one foot, take that leg up, grab behind the ankle. So wrapping your fingers around, and then from there, we're gonna bring those legs up. So I think really pointing through the toes. We're really engaged, chest is open and proud. Just one here. Inhale's gonna take you back. Press, 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 press. Hands, bring yourself back up. There we go. And then we reconnect from there. Perfect. That one's really tough. I know I keep saying that one, but that's a hard one for me. All right. From here, we're going to go into our corkscrew. Root ball all the way back down. And from here, we want to think head, shoulders, hips. Stay anchored. And you're going to think, I want to keep my hips anchored and then kind of disassociate my hip bone, my pelvis and thigh bones from each other. So the legs can go from side to side without the pelvis going from side to side. So we bring the legs to tabletop. We go up. Let's find a nice soft point. Legs are together like we've saran wrapped them. So again, I want you to keep your left hip heavy. As you tip both legs over towards the right, you'll feel that left heel shift away from the right just a tad. That's fine. I want you to inhale to circle down, up and around. Keep that right hip heavy on the up. And then exhale, opposite position. So again, there's going to be a little bit of movement with the hips, but we want to try to minimize it. It's an exhale to go down, up and around. We've got one more on both sides. And that's it for our corkscrew today. We sit all the way back up. Now we go into saw. We've been working on our saw. So we're back to that wide position. We've got the heels heavy, dug down, toes pulled back, and then we sit up really super duper tall. And what tends to happen as we rotate is that we start to rotate the hips as we take the ribs and the upper body along. I want you to try to really press those heels down so that you don't feel that kind of shift. So you see, when I rotate towards the left, that right heel slips forward and this one comes back. That's a good indicator that I'm not anchoring down. Arms are coming out to your T. We're coming over towards the right. You're going to take that left pinky towards the right baby toe. And as you do that, rotate that back right palm up and take your gaze towards that lifted palm. And we saw, and we come back up. Both palms go down, and then we twist and reach. Right pinky towards that left baby toe. Left palm has switched, and you saw 2 and 1. Back up through the center. We've got 2 more on both sides. Let's add the breath. Exhale, 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 reaching further. Inhale, and then we exhale. 1 more on both sides. Again, let's check back in with the heels. When you focus on that, you may notice your range is not quite as big as you thought. And then come back up through the center. Perfect. All righty. Next, we go into swan. So on our bellies, hands are going to be out wide past the shoulders. Bring the legs back in line with the body. Head is down, forehead is down. And then before we go anywhere, let's try to find that neutral pelvis on the belly. So I want you to think, without squeezing through the tush, can I pull my belly button up and away from the mat and ground down through the hip bones and the pubic bone? So you're going to kind of feel that shift and tilt, but we don't feel any tension through the back or through the booty. And then from there, it's an inhale to lift the head, take your gaze towards the wall, let the shoulders drop from the ears, and come into your extension, your swan. And then exhale. We lower down. We're going to go for 2 more here. And exhale. So we don't want any tension through the low back, no pain or ickiness, but if you're feeling some work, that's not a bad thing. You want to strengthen those back muscles. And then we're going to lower down. Coming onto the forearms, send your hips back towards your heels. Get that nice child's pose stretch after all that flexion. I think rounding through the spine if that feels good. And then we come back. We're going to go for a single leg kick. So from here, you see how I sag down and then I pressed in to engage with my forearms, and I'm way up higher. So think, I don't want my chest to drop. It's kind of a lot to think about. We're going to do our best. We've just got a fist with our pinkies down, thumbs are up. So from here, we're already in a little bit of extension. And then we're going to walk those legs a little closer together so they're right back behind the hip bones. And from there, we're going to activate the low body by just pressing the tops of the feet down. You see my kneecaps lift, they hover here. From there, it's one long line of energy from the hip all the way through the toes. And then from there, my gaze is just out and forward. And then I want you to hover both of the legs off. So pick the feet. And then we're going to go into 2 kicks with the right leg and then switch. And then 2 kicks with the left and switch. Don't let the chest drop. Inhale, inhale. We're keeping the opposite non-kicking leg hover. We've got one more here on the left side. And then we come all the way down. I want you to take your gaze over to the right. So let that left cheek rest. And then from there, you're just kind of laying down on the mat. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to that neutral position. So belly button up, hip bones down. Without squeezing through the tush, we lift the kneecaps. And then from there, before you go anywhere else, let's take the hands. We're grabbing for 2 fingers on our left hand, the pointer in the middle with our right grip. And then you want to kind of slide up, think bringing the arms up towards the sports bra. And then from there, you see I've rotated through my shoulder, they're dropped down. We're going to bring the shoulders down and back, and you see how much my shoulders already lifted from there. Now everything is engaged. We hover the legs from there. Okay. From there, it's going to be an exhale as we kick 3 times. As you're straightening on that 3rd kick, it's an inhale to go into that swan position as you slide the hands down the back. So we're going to go. I'm going to take that inhale to prepare. And then I go exhale. And you reach back, 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 come down on that right cheek, and you go exhale, 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 kick 3 times. Inhale, slide down, 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 keep those shoulders back, come back onto the right. 2 more rounds. Three kicks. Lower down, 3 more kicks. And then from there, hands go down. We send the hips back. Get that release again from all that movement with the low part of the spine. And then we'll roll yourself all the way up. Let your shoulders roll forward. And then let your shoulders roll down and back. Give yourself a minute here. Perfect. Next, we're going to our shoulder bridge. So back to that, all the way down in your back position. And then we're going to start with a flat back first. So we want to keep the hip bones and pubic bones same plane. And again, walk your heels back so that they feel like they're lined up right below the kneecaps. Shoulders are down and you're anchored. Again, back to that really pressed down proud position, even finding some energy with the forearms and the palms of the hands. You're going to take an inhale just to lift the hips up. Exhale, lower the hips down. And as an inhale, we lift. Think line from the knee towards the hip, sliding down towards the ribs, and try not to come off the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale brings you down. One more here. And then find that heavy tailbone at the bottom. We're going to go back to that pelvic tilt that we did at the start of class. So we're going to get that posterior tilt. So we let the hip bones drop towards the ribs. You feel that area mid-back to go flat. And then from there, you continue to peel the spine up. Again, just towards the tips of the shoulder blades. And then it's an exhale. Think sliding down the spine. So I like to imagine I'm peeling myself up. I tuck, and then I go peel it up. And I melt down. So I keep the hips up. I come from behind the sternum and heavy from there. Once I start to feel that area at the bra line connect, then I go towards my mid back, then I go towards my low back, towards the top of my pants. Then I let the sacrum reconnect, and then the tailbone goes heavy at the bottom. One more here. Exhale. That's it. Release at the bottom. And then from there, we're going to go for 1 more round. Arms are anchored and those shoulders. We come up with a flat back, and then you melt the spine down. So we're going to lift, drop back to your neutral position. We lift up, we hold there, tilt. You're going to really feel The hips come towards the ribs and then exhale, melt down. We've got one more just like that. Back. Tilt that bowl of water towards the ribs and the chin, and then come all the way down from there. Perfect. Very good. We're going to bring ourselves to a seated position. Again, great time to grab a quick sip of water if you need to. And we are going into our side kicks. We've been working on our side kicks all throughout the month. And I'm going to have us do our left leg first. So we're coming down onto your right side body. And you can either cradle your head here so that your elbow is bent and you've got your palm holding the back of the head, or you can straighten the arm and come all the way down the bicep. It's totally fine either way. Bring yourself all the way to the very back of your mat here, one long line. And then from there, you're going to bring both feet up and towards that front corner. So now, again, we want to make sure that what almost always happens hasn't happened. It has with me. So this hip bone's come up, this side body's way down. I'm going to bring the heels so that they are right on top of each other, ankles and the toes. And now I feel this lifted sensation through the side body. And I'm going to go ahead and lower my head onto my hand. Make sure you do what feels comfortable to you. We're going to take that left foot, hover it up. We are in that rotation. So I'm not letting the toes drop down. I'm rotated here through my hip bone, soft point, and then we go front and back. You inhale, sweep the leg forward, and then exhale, bring it back. Inhale brings you forward, and exhale brings you back. And again, now that I'm on this elevated surface, I can really tell when I'm taking it in too large of a range because it feels like I could fall forward. One more here. Inhale, exhale. And then we bring the legs, make sure we're still in that even hip squared and stacked position, holding that same half of a Pilates V. You inhale up, flex the foot, exhale, bring it down. It's an inhale, we lift, exhale, we lower. Two more just like that. Just like you're gonna click your little heels at the bottom each time, and then we hold the flex. From there, we flex to lift with an inhale, point at the top, exhale, we lower down. Flex, lift it up, point at the top, lower right back down. Two more here, noticing how this feels a little bit different as we flex up versus point, and how we engage the inner and outer thighs. And then we bring that top right leg right in front of us. Let's make sure we're still rotated. We've got those small circles front. Can you take them the size of a coffee cup? 4 of them there, we reverse. And then we slide that top left leg back behind us, and we circle 4 times here forward. And then backwards, just make sure you're breathing. And then from here, we're going to go to our passe. So we're holding that soft point. You're letting this external rotation bring your knee out and away. Draw the toe in. So now my knee's way up. I'm opened, really rotated through the hip. I hold that point and I bring my leg straight up. I flex at the top and exhale, we lower. Inhale, we sweep the leg up. Straighten, think one long line, flex to the foot, lower, bring it back down. 2 more just like that. I'm starting to really feel the legs. And we reverse. Now we hold that flex, we inhale, lift, exhale, bend, let the knee come past the hip so you can tap that big toe right there on the outside of the knee, and then you slide the legs down. Again, we're really stuck once we get there. Flex again, up, bend, drop down. One more here. We're going to bring that top leg back in line with the hip. And from here, I'm going to ask you to be parallel. So you're going to think this top left hip is really squared, almost like you're bringing your baby toe and you're letting it droop down. We're in one long line with that leg with the rest of the body. And again, anchor yourself down here. From here, we're going to lift up, lower down. So this is our pure abduction. Really feeling the outer part of the thigh. Last one. And then this is where we start our big, grand sweeping movement. So grand rond de jambe. We have not done this one yet. It's the biggest movement that I'm going to ask you to do. You're still holding that external rotation. So we're parallel. Now we rotate. It's going to give us a little bit more smooth range through the leg. One long line. It's heavy to hold your leg up. Again, big movement here. You're going to sweep forward. Can you get the leg in line with the hip? And then you reach, 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 reach. Think toes straight up towards the ceiling. And then you lower back down. It's an inhale. Exhale. We've got two more here. We sweep it forward, 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 up, 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 yearning to go further each time. And then we bring it back in front. We reverse. So we sweep back one long line. And then can you pull back a little bit more? And we reach, 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 bring it back. It's heavy. It's heavy. Sweep it back. Exhale. Two more here. The weight of that left leg is starting to really get heavy, right? Bring it back. Think, can I even get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch? And then we come up, 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 and around. And you take a little break. I'm going to come onto my belly. Give myself a quick breather. Find a little child's pose. And then I will slide my head to the other side of the mat. You can just turn over. We've got our second side. Second side, in my opinion, is always tougher. That's why we did the left side first. Most people are dominant in the right side body. Not everybody, but for the most part. So we start one long line, like we've got myself completely zipped together. You pick both legs up and you sweep the legs forward to the front of that mat. And then from there, again, let's make sure that the ankles and heels and big toes are stacked from there. We've got that nice lift here. And again, you can come onto the bicep or rest the hand. We lift that top right leg up, a little bit of that external rotation through the hip for a smoother range. And we inhale, sweep it forward and then back. We've got two more. Last one. There we go. And then we hold that point. Make sure we didn't let that hip hike back up. And we go inhale up, flex, exhale, lower down. It's a lift and lower. And it's a really exaggerated flex, but we're still working in that external rotation. So think coming down in Pilates V. We reverse, flex up, flex it up, point it down. This top hand again can be rested, but we want to make sure that that shoulder's not rolling way forward. So flex up, yep, and point down, reversing. And then from there, we go to those small circles. So lift the leg, bring it forward. Let's go inhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweep it back. We've got 4 forwards. We draw the heels back in line for passe. We start with that point with the toe, draw that line up towards the inside part of the kneecap, straighten up, and then we flex and exhale to lower back down. So we draw and then kick it up. Nice big kick like you're a rocket. Flex the foot, draw back down. One more here. We go in, up, flex, control down. We hold that flex, we reverse it. Now we take that straight flexed foot up, we point, let that knee track in, tap, and then slide from there. Flex, inhale. 2 more. Last one here. And then we've got that big daddy movement. So we're still rotated. Make sure you're still stacked. Oh, just kidding. We've got pure abduction first. Don't want us to be uneven. So again, heavy and square those hip bones. You're going to want to kind of drop it back, but don't let that top hip drop back. Bring that top leg back in line with the rest of the body. Again, really strong flex, toes towards the knee, almost rotated so that that big toe is heavier down and the heel almost feels lifted. And then from there, we inhale up, exhale, lower down. We've got 3 so far, we've got 5 more, so this is the area we're targeting here. Find the range where you don't feel like you're rocking and rolling all over the mat. And maybe rotate a little bit more internally here. Toe down, last one. This is where we go into grand rondé jump. Go back to that point, back to that external rotation, and then from there, kind of re-square those hips. So think when you bring that leg back, bring your hips to stack a little bit more. Again, almost yearning for this stretch here. And then from there, we sweep forward and you lift up, 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 up. Bring the heel behind you, but it's still heavy down. And then we sweep forward again. I'm yearning to get a little bit bigger every time. Last one here. Stay externally rotated and reach and reach and reach. And then bring it forward. We reverse. We inhale to get back. And reach, 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 reach. And come back down. So when we bring it behind us and we bring it up, you're going to notice that as you come up, you're going to rotate externally a little bit more. Last one here. Very good. All right. Sit up. I'm going to give myself that little kind of butterfly stretch. Stretching out through the hips. And then from there, we're going to go into teaser. So whatever your proportions are, maybe you have long legs, maybe you have a long torso and long arms. Teaser is not created equal, so don't feel bad if there's one position or all of them that you're like, yeah, right, Charlotte, this is not going to happen. This is a really tough move, and it's tough for people who've been practicing for years and years and years. So we're going to find that balance point. You're going to make sure you've got space behind you and in front of you. From here, let's get really open and proud through the chest. So think about when we went into that swan, think of that. You want to yearn for that much of an open sensation. Slide forward. And then from there, we come to tabletop, okay? I'm going to have us do the first one for teaser 1 with our legs in tabletop. So from there, take one hand, reach. Other hand is going to reach. You're going to keep the legs up, and tabletop inhale is going to take you down. And exhale, peel up, up, up. Your hip bones are going to shift forward slightly. You can grab behind the thighs if you need to. You come back up to the top. You're going to find that neutral spine again. Reach the arms. And then let's use an exhale to roll down this time. So go slide down. I want you to let your head hit. You can rest for just a quick second. Take that big inhale in and then exhale. We come up. This time I want you to see if you can keep the legs straight. So find Pilates V, heels together, soft point. We're going to keep those legs out. And then from there, teaser back. Take that inhale, exhale. Teaser up, reaching the baby toes. Perfect. You're giving yourself a break here because that's really good hard work. Second round is going to be with just the legs. Again, if you've got really long legs and that's more weight in the body, this is going to feel tougher. So if you need more support, you can always take your hands back behind you, but I'm going to cue it with the arms reaching. So we're going to go back to that starting position. And then from there, arms go out. From there, legs go out, and you're going to inhale, lower the legs down. Exhale. We've got 2 more. Last one. And then from there, we're going to start in our up position, and then we're going to roll down. And again, you can absolutely keep your knees bent and feet flat, and then just reconnect. Let's all do one just like that. So think lower down, lower down, lower down with the heels and the spine. Let the heels tap. And then from there, let's bring our arms up and overhead. Try not to lose that connection here with the ribs to the hips. Arms come back up. Take your inhale to prepare. Exhale. Be a little lighter with the heels, a little lighter with the heels, a little lighter with the heels, heavier with the back. And we lift and lift and lift. And then we're going to straighten. Take that inhale, slide down, straight, straight, straight. heels and the head hit together. You can hear the shakes in my voice. Reaching. One more here. Inhale, take yourself down and down and down. And then from there, again, let's think. Anchor the low part of the back ribs. So almost get yourself into a little bit of that posterior tilt. Can you pull the hips and the ribs together a little bit more? Let's go into that nod. And then again, from there, I want you to keep your heels squeezing together, get the booty thigh connection on. Keep it on. That's going to make a big difference. Let's start that breath again. Inhale, take that breath all the way in. Exhale, I want you to start to squeeze the heels together even more. Try to get a little lighter with the heels and then go up from there. And see if that booty thigh connection helped you. It definitely did help me. All right, from here, we're going to go to leg pull front. We did this last week. It's tough. Y'all are going to crush it. So you're thinking plank, and then it's a pickup of one foot, a shift forward and back with your breath, and then we come back and switch. We're going to do 3 sets, which is one leg lift back forward, and then the other leg lift back and forward. So if your wrists are bothering you at all, come on to your knuckles. And again, we don't lock out through the elbows. We keep the arms slightly bent, and we don't let the chest drop way down and let the shoulders sag towards each other. Shoulder blades come together. You keep that nice, strong, neutral position. If you're on your hands, I really want you to focus on energy with all 10 fingertips. From there, one foot's going to go back. I'm going to ask you to find a Pilates V position here, because again, I want you to really recruit through the backs of the legs. So one foot back and then the other. So now we're in Pilates V position. We're in one long line. You're going to take an inhale to lift that right foot, point the toes, flex to that left foot, let your shoulders come behind the wrist, and then we switch with an inhale. Reconnect, find Pilates V, find that booty thigh. Exhale takes you back and forward. One more on both sides. Inhale up, point the toe, flex that left foot in and out, switch. And then we come off the wrist for just a second. Roll through the wrist. Pressing down at the top of the hand can be super helpful here. Grip strength can be really hard. It's a tough thing to work on, but doing things on your wrist always does help with that wrist stability and grip strength. We're going to do leg pull now. This is really tough. We worked on it last week. It's going to be great. We're going to do, again, 2 sets. So we think 1 leg, 2 leg, 1 leg, 2 leg, 1 leg, 2 leg. The first one, we're not going to lift and kick. I'm going to have us just get into position. We're trying to ultimately get to a point where your fingertips are all facing the hips, but that's not feasible for me right now. So I'm going to slide my hands wider and rotate out just a tad. I'm starting with my elbows bent and my hands back behind my hips just a little bit. And again, the same thing I was cueing with the connection with the heels. If you do not have the back of the thigh and the glutes turned on here, you're not going to have any success, to be totally frank. My shoulders are up in my ears. I'm going to get back to that proud swan position. So all we're going to do from here is press into the heel of the hands and the fingertips, squeeze the heels together. Let's bring the hips up. Your gaze is going to go towards the ceiling and you're just holding. So again, this is the position we want to be in. Think if I put a marble on my nose and let it roll down my body, it would continue rolling to where my heels connect. Let's lower back down. Quick pause. Give yourself a break. So now we're going to do 2 sets. So that 1, 2, 1, 2, since we already did that hold. From there, go to your position and you're just going to lift the leg as high as you can. Okay. So come in, squeeze together, and then again, dig that left heel down. I want you to bring the right leg up. 1 more on the right. 1 more on the left. And then we lower all the way back down. Beautiful. Whew, that is so challenging. All right, let's go into mermaid. Stack the knees and heels, and then grab for those ankles. Bicep is up by the ear. You also always have the option to go to this crisscross position. I'm going to cue up those stacked. So arm up and then imagine you're a little mermaid in a rock and you're reaching over towards the rock. You come down, the hand goes on the other side of the rock and you're reaching towards the sea. Your shoulder is going to elevate. Think, how close can I keep my bicep to the ear and how much can I reach the fingertip? Come up and over. One more. Really find this link through that side body and then through the center. Bring your heels back behind you, come onto the knees. Think going to the next rock in the ocean. So you can go to your little mermaid stretch on that second side. And again, grab those ankles. Everybody's going to have a side that's going to feel a little, maybe not quite so good as the other, maybe a little bit more stubborn and it needs a little bit more exploration through the joints. And then hand comes back down again, slide it out. Enjoy that delightful stretch. Ah, I'm gonna let you pick where you're breathing. And then go ahead and bring that arm down, down, down. Perfect. And then we come back to that seated position. I've already kept you for 5 minutes too long. So we will wrap it up with our mermaid stretch. I appreciate y'all so much.